Hello dear students, welcome back. This class is based on New Language Leader Pre-Intermediate Book Unit 8. So the class materials that you need for this class is your New Language Leader book, a notebook, a pencil, and a vocabulary journal as usual. In order to gain access to the book, you need to go to My English Lab. For this, please check the announcements on Google Classroom. There you will see the information about how to get a username and a password. And then you will go to this web page. So it's so simple. Check the announcements, get a username and a password, and go to the web page, pearson.com/English/My-English-Lab. Well, if you haven't done so, please go pause the video and do it. And come back here. So this is the web page. You need to sign in with your username and a password as a returning user. There you will see the products. The product that you're going to click on is your New Language Leader Pre-Intermediate book. Choose that one, and there it will ask you if you want to allow the Adobe Flash Player. Please allow Adobe Flash Player for this to work. And go to the e-text version of the book so that you can follow the class with me. And once you're done with that, go to the page 63 and you're ready to go. So this class is composed of two parts. The first part is word patterns and the second part focuses on future intentions. So first part begins now. Now we're going to listen to Abology's talk. He's a student and he's giving a presentation to his classmates. While listening to Abology's talk, try to answer these two questions. First, how long does a 1-year-old baby need to sleep? And second, how long do the adults need to sleep? So let's go to the audio right now. Don't forget to take notes while listening.
All right, Abology, you're next. Are you ready?
Yes.
Okay then, start when you like.
Good morning, everybody. Let me start with a question. Do you like sleeping? Yes, I thought that was the answer. Well, today I'm going to talk to you about sleep. I hope to show you that sleep is a very important and interesting subject. But please, stay awake. Don't fall asleep during my presentation. Scientists are starting to understand sleep much better than before. And I'll mention some new research in my talk. Because of the limited time, I'll cover 3 areas. 1, how much sleep we need. 2, the types and stages of sleep. And 3, some problems with sleep in today's society. So let's look first at how much sleep people need. Most people spend around 1/3 of their lives asleep, although the need for sleep decreases with age. Let me ask you some other questions. How much sleep do you think a 1-year-old baby needs?
12 hours?
20?
8?
Well, a 1-year-old baby needs about 14 hours of sleep a day. How about a child of 5?
12 hours?
That's right. Good guess. A 5-year-old needs about 12 hours. And an adult? How much does an adult need?
8?
Exactly. An adult needs about 7 to 8 hours. However, different people need different amounts of sleep. Some adults need to sleep for 10 hours or more a day, while others only need half that amount, or less.
If your answer to the first question is this, then you got it right. If your answer to the second question is this, then you also got it right. So next on, we're going to analyze a part from Abology's talk. Well, as you see, some words are in red rectangles and some are in yellow rectangles. The words in red rectangles are let, like, hope, our starting let again. So the question is, how do these words function in the sentence? What is their function in the sentence? Well, the answer for that is, of course, they are the main verbs of the sentence, of these sentences, right? Let is the main verb. In the second sentence, again, here, do you like sleeping? Here in this sentence, like is the main verb. Do would be the auxiliary or the helping verb, right? So the question is, what is the function of the word sleeping in this sentence? Well, the answer is, it functions as the gerund of the sentence, right? So what is a gerund? Or what is an infinitive? You have met the gerunds and infinitives before so many times. So in the rest of this presentation, I'm going to talk about them a little bit more in detail. So let's get two sentences from Avology's talk. The first sentence is, let me start with a question. In the sentence, as we have mentioned already, let is the main verb, and start is called a gerund. Start is called an infinitive. Or, again, here, in the second sentence, I hope to show you that sleep is very important. Hope is the main verb, and to show is the infinitive. The question is, can I change these words? For example, can I say, let me starting with a question? Or can I say, let me to start with a question? Well, the answer is no, you can't. And for the second sentence, can I change to show into show or showing? Again, the answer is no, you can't change them. They have to stay as they are. The reason is because there are some rules that apply to gerunds and infinitives. Let's have a look at their definitions, right? What is a gerund then? A gerund is a noun made from a verb by adding ing. The gerund form of the verb, for example, read, is reading. So we're adding an ing to the verb. You can use a gerund as the subject or the complement or the object of a sentence. Let's see some examples. In this first sentence here, it says, reading helps you learn English. In this sentence, the word reading is the subject of the sentence, and it is a gerund, right? And in the second sentence again, her favorite hobby is reading, and reading is again a gerund. And another gerund form of the verb read here is again reading. I enjoy reading. And you should remember that gerunds can be made negative by adding not before them. Let's see some examples. He enjoys not working. Or the best thing for your health is not smoking. So, if you got it right, we can continue with the next question. What is an infinitive then? An infinitive is the to form of the verb. The infinitive form of learn, for example, is to learn. You can also use an infinitive as a subject, the complement, or the object of the sentence. Let's give it some examples again. To learn is important. In the sentence, to learn is the infinitive form of the verb learn, right? So maybe you are asking this question. Can I say learn is important? No, you can't say. It would be incorrect. You have to say to learn, right? Because we need a noun here for this sentence. In the second sentence, again, we're going to see to learn. The most important thing is to learn. In the third sentence, again, we're going to see another infinitive form. He wants to learn. Just in the same way, you can't say he wants learn or he wants learning, right? Infinitives can be made negative by adding not, and some examples are, I decided not to go. The most important thing is not to give up. In this email that Abology wrote to Dr. Wilson, we're going to see more examples of gerunds and infinitives. So the gerunds and infinitives are again in yellow rectangles, right? In the first sentence, I've managed to find. The part to find is an infinitive. And in the second sentence, I'm thinking about doing a presentation on sleep and the brain. The part about doing, actually just the part doing itself, is a gerund, right? So up to here, I guess you have an idea about how an infinitive looks and how a gerund looks. So an infinitive looks like this. It is usually used with a to, right? And a gerund looks like this here. It is used with an ing. And in some cases, you may see a gerund with a preposition before that. It completely depends on the main verb, right? Because the verb think is used with the preposition about. We have to use about before the gerund. Okay then, so on the next part, I'm going to give you more details about gerunds and infinitives. Here in this box, you see all the gerunds and infinitives that we have seen up to now. Start, sleeping, to show, to understand, ask, to find, and doing. So now look at these sentences from Abology's talk and email. Do you like sleeping? I hope to show you that sleep is very important. And I am thinking about doing a presentation. So in these three sentences, you can easily identify the main verbs, right? And you can easily see the gerunds and infinitives, right? So here in this part, I'm going to show you 4 different categories when it comes to gerunds and infinitives. These are the 4 forms that you will come across gerunds and infinitives. The first form is the verb plus infinitive with a to. And the second form of an infinitive is a verb plus infinitive without to. And for the gerunds, you will see the gerunds as in this form, a verb plus ing. And the second form that you can see a gerund is this form, verb plus preposition plus ing. Wow, this doesn't mean anything to you right now. It's so complicated, but when I give examples, it will be clearer, right? So here are the examples that you need to see. Yeah. So let's look at the first example here with to. I hope to show you. In this sentence, to show is an infinitive. Second sentence, scientists are starting to understand. To understand is an infinitive. I've managed to find. To find is an infinitive. Sometimes infinitives are used without to, right? And these are the examples for that. Let me start. Let me ask. Can you say let me to start in English? No, you can't. That's the rule. And let's have a look at the examples for gerunds. Do you like sleeping? In the sentence, the word sleeping is a gerund. And in the next form, I'm thinking about doing a presentation. In the sentence, doing is a gerund, and you say it with a preposition, about. So a very important grammar tip from your book to remember, you can use some verbs such as like, hate with both the infinitive verb with to and with the verb ing. Often there is not a big difference in meaning. What this means is this. You can use the word like in a sentence, and the verb that follows it can be used in a gerund form. So you can say, do you like sleeping? And you can also use the verb like with an infinitive form. So you can also say, do you like to sleep? Both forms are correct. So let's come to this killer question. How do I know if a verb is used with a gerund or an infinitive form? How should you know that? Well, the answer is you simply cannot know that. It is not intuitive. You need to know which verb goes with what, with an infinitive or with a gerund. You need to learn them by heart. In this case, how can you learn the verbs that go with a gerund and infinitive? Well, on the internet or in some reference books, you can see some lists, like these lists here that I'm going to show you. Verbs followed by an infinitive list, verbs followed by a gerund list, and verbs followed by a preposition and a gerund list. Well, let's have a look at them one by one, and let's find out how they are used. In the first one, it says, she agreed to speak before the game. In this sentence, the verb agreed is the main verb of the sentence, right? And the part to speak is the infinitive, because the verb agree is always followed by an infinitive, never a gerund, never, okay? And this list, it tries to tell you that these verbs cannot be used with an infinitive, but a gerund only, right? And this list is trying to show you again that these verbs can be used with a preposition and a gerund after that. So now I would like to show you how to find these verbs online. Some online forums or some online pages with these topics could help you. A few examples. The example I could show you is from this website, engwit.com. So I will leave a reference for this website so that you can go back to it. Another reference website I could show you is this, American.edu. You can see here all the verbs with gerunds and infinitives and other forms. So check the reference page at the end of this video. Now that you have an idea about how to find these lists, I think the question in your mind is this, right? Is it difficult to learn about gerunds and infinitives? Well, the answer is no, it's not difficult, but it's tricky because you need to go over the lists over and over again. You need to do the grammar practices, but more importantly, you need to read more and listen more in English. Because when you read more and listen more, you will come across these forms, gerunds and infinitives more often, right? Then you will automatically, intuitively learn about the use of these. Now it's time for some practice. Let's learn by doing. In this exercise, you're going to choose the correct form. Is it a gerund or an infinitive that follows these verbs here? There are 10 sentences. You can pause the video at this point and try to answer these questions. But please refer to the lists that I showed you. Well, if you are ready for the answer key, here is the answer key. These are the answers for the sentences here. These are the words in green rectangles are the answers. They are gerunds and infinitives. Well, they follow a rule, right? Let's go over them one by one. For the first sentence, I tend to dream is the correct answer because the verb tend always is always followed by an infinitive, right? to infinitive. And for the second sentence, Karen really enjoys studying is the correct option here because the verb enjoy is always followed by a gerund, right? And for the third sentence, you seem to have is the correct option because the verb seem is always followed by an infinitive form. And for the fourth sentence, you should think about being more productive, more active, because the verb think is used with a preposition, and a preposition is always followed by a gerund. And for the fifth one, the answer is I keep falling asleep. To fall is incorrect because the verb keep is always used with a gerund after that. And for the sixth sentence, she wants to get a job is the correct answer because the verb wants is always used with an infinitive. And for the seventh sentence, we're really looking forward to going on the boat trip is the correct answer. Well, this is the tricky one, right? You see to and you automatically believe that this should be followed by an infinitive, but this is an exception, guys, because this to here is not the to infinitive to, but the preposition to. And as you know, after prepositions, we use a gerund, right? So this is a preposition, and after preposition should follow a gerund. That's why go is incorrect. Going is the correct form. You can note this down. And for 8, what did the doctor suggest? Doing is the correct form because when suggest is used without any object, it is not used with an infinitive but a gerund after that. Okay, and for the ninth one, it says the children were at the friends, so we managed to sleep. To sleep is the correct answer because the verb managed is always followed by an infinitive. And for the last one, we're talking about going is the correct answer because about is a preposition, and after a preposition always comes a gerund. So that's all, guys. At this point, we're going to give a break to this topic and continue with the next topic, that is future intentions. So what do we mean? What do we mean by future intentions? When you see these GIFs, you will have an idea about what we're going to talk about soon, right? So one thing common in all of these GIFs is the use of going to. Yes. So when we want to talk about a future intention, there are 3 forms that we can use, but they have different meanings. So let's talk about going to plus verb formula first. A few examples that this formula is used. Here are these. I'm going to bring my laptop to work. She is not going to attend the meeting. So the use of going to in these sentences give us the meaning of a future intention, right? You will remember this from the previous grammar topic. Another formula that we can use to talk about a future intention is hope to plus verb 1. And the examples that follow are these sentences. I'm hoping to make friends with people abroad. We hope to see you again. And the third formula that I can share about future intentions is would like to plus verb 1 formula. And the examples are, I'd like to leave this job soon. I'd like to meet you face to face. So let's have a quick check if we understand what these examples and formulas are trying to tell us. Which sentences describe a planned action in the future, a definite action? Do you have an answer for that? Well, these two sentences are about a future intention, a planned action in the future, right? And the second question is, which sentences describe a dream or an ambition for the future? Any ideas? Yes, these 4 sentences and these 2 formulas show us how to describe a dream or an ambition. And the third question, how do you make questions and negatives with this language? Which means, how do you make a negative in this formula, and how do you make a negative in this and this formula? The answer to this question is this. Please note this down. You may need to refer back to these formulas and the negative and question forms in the next exercise that you're going to see. In this exercise, you're going to complete Janine lists of hopes, desires, and intentions for the next year. Look at the key here, and then use the correct form of hope, would like, and going to. The first one is done for us. I'm going to read a brief history of time. How do we know that we were supposed to put I'm going to here? Because there were 3 ticks here, right? That's how I know. And for the second one, it says something has my final exams in June. There's 1 tick, so I know I should use the verb hope, but I should use it in the correct form, right? So at this point, you can pause the video and try to do the exercise. Very soon, I'm going to share the answer key with you. You can now check your answers. If you have any questions, you can ask your questions in the comment section down below, or you can alternatively choose to ask your questions in your teacher's office hour. This is the end of the video. Thank you for watching.